And joining us in studio to expand on yesterday's operation and other activities that are going on in the county, Sheriff Donny Youngblood. You just saw him at the press conference. And first of all, let's begin and jump off of that as we go. So what kind of an impact will it have with these specific 35 members being taken out of circulation?
Well, it depends on the hierarchy. You know, you try and target as high as you can get because it disrupts the organization, but you can't make up crimes. So
sure.
You take what you can get. And yesterday, I think the most shocking thing that people should have heard was that this gang has been involved, either victim or suspect, in 56 shootings since 2016. That's 2 every month. Mm-hmm. That's incredible. And addressing this, you know, the city and the county and the feds, we hit this with everything we've got, and we're going to start right back today, and we're going to start looking again. Because it's time and man intensive, and it costs a lot of money, but it really is, we have to do this.
Now, when you're talking about the Country Boy Crips, I mean, it is one of, and I don't expect you to have a specific number, how many gangs that operate in some capacity in our county? There
is no magic number because you have gangs.
Is there a ballpark figure?
Well, you have 20 different gangs that in the county, and then you have another 20 who think they're gangs, and then they cross over. So the number is really elusive.
But this Country Boy Crips would be considered the most violent?
They are one of the most violent, but they're not the only one we're looking at.
All right.
And now's the time for these people that are teenagers to say, this is a dead-end lifestyle. I'm going to move on. And we have ways to help those people that want to get out. And I hope that we have some that take that option.
Now, the other big issue right now that everyone's talking about, of course, is the homeless crisis and things that have happened. And not trying to break this down completely, but let's begin with the county shelter. You stood up in front of the Board of Supervisors not long ago. You discussed security concerns with the proposed shelter. Have you had any meetings since then, and what has been discussed?
Yeah, we have. We're working on, I think that everybody wants everybody to be safe and to have a place to sleep and warm. We all want that. Sure. But you can't just take them all and put them in a room because we have a lot of different issues. Mental health, we have drug addiction, and so we're going to have groups there that kind of separate. We're going to have security there. There's going to be a deputy there. We want to make sure that not only is the surrounding community safe, and the city will do that, but also the facility itself, so people can come there that if they're down on their luck and they need a place to sleep, that they can do it safely.
So solidified, there will be a deputy on site?
Yes.
And is there a time frame?
It'll be 12 hours of a day, and we'll adjust that depending on when it's needed.
All right, very good. Also, the Supreme Court, of course, not acting on the recent ruling, basically allowing the homeless the right to live on the streets. Because of that yesterday, where do you see that going now in the ongoing effort, as we just said, to get them off the street?
Yeah, it's interesting. It was the Boise case,
right?
And what it says is, if you don't have a bed to offer someone, you can't move them off the streets from camping. So they could camp right outside your studios here. If we don't have a bed to offer them, someone in that group, if we go there and say you have to move, and we don't have a bed, they don't have to move. And so these low barrier shelters will fill that void. We will have beds. The homeless center now is full, but people in the homeless center can't use drugs, can't be a drug addict, can't use alcohol. There are rules, and the people won't go. We have a large percentage of our population on the streets that say, I'm not going there because I can't take my dog, I can't stay with my girlfriend,
keep all my possessions, whatever
keep all my possessions, I can't leave and go get drunk or use drugs. And so the reason they're on the streets in the first place because they haven't followed the rules throughout their lifetime. They're not going to start now.
Okay. Have you revisited the fact that you have so many empty beds still out at Lerdo, and trying to find some way maybe to incorporate that?
Yeah,
because once we fill up these low barrier shelters, which whenever they become operational, there's going to be more people.
Yes. We are working on it. We're doing it piecemeal, which works well for us because we couldn't hire 100 deputies to put up there. It takes too long.
Right.
So we're going to open a small portion of it, hire deputies in an academy. We can only put a certain number in an academy. So we'll do this as we go, and then if we need more, I think we have probably 1,000 beds out there, to be honest with you.
Oh, really?
And so, and some of those barracks need work. They're not really in great shape, but it's better than sleeping in the rain or in the cold like they're doing right now. So we're working on it, but this is not. There's not a quick fix here.
As far as manpower goes, and you just kind of touched on it right now, there was the city tax increase. Are you going to revisit perhaps proposing a county tax in the next cycle?
You know, I've tried it twice, and it didn't fare
third
well.
time could be a charm.
Yeah. I'm hoping that somebody else comes up and wants to bring this forward, but I'm not going to do it a third time. The public spoke to me and said, we're not voting on this. That's good enough for me. But if that would be a solution to this problem, to help us have the money to do what we need to do, but I'm not going to be the one that carries it.
Do you possibly see the potential success or failure of the city's tax as how it might impact the county's proposal if it were to come back again?
Yeah, I certainly think that it will have an impact. I think that it's gotten more difficult now to say we want to tax you, because if you look at the pension issue with the fire department and the county employees, the public, they see a different solution. And so I think it would become more difficult now than it was before. And we weren't successful it was very lopsided against it.
Now, just you personally now, we've completed almost a full year of your current term. What do you see on the horizon? I mean, aside from what we've already talked about, are there any other issues that you're going to be targeting in the coming year, in 2020? Well,
we're hoping that these gang sweeps, if we can keep these up and keep the manpower and keep this going, that will impact shootings, that will impact homicides. That's the only way that you can, because a lot of our homicides and shootings are gang-related. Right. And if you take the gang-related issue away and we don't have that, obviously we're going to have a smaller number. And children should be allowed to go out in their neighborhoods and ride bicycles and play like we used to do. Right. And it's very sad, because what happens to these children, this becomes normal to them, the fear of shootings, and it's not normal, and we need to change that.
Very good. Donny, thanks for coming in.
My pleasure.
All right. Danielle?